Welcome. Now, we're going to spend the next few hours or so getting to know a bit more about your business, looking at it in depth, and by the time you complete this training, you'll have a list of easy tasks you can implement immediately. These tasks, if implemented correctly, will dramatically increase your profits and visibility online. Most importantly, we'll discuss your specific competitors who you must contend with online and give you specific strategies for pulling ahead of them. We provided you with a workbook. Now, feel free to use it during the presentation and write down any notes or ideas that come to you in the specific section we're covering. However, this workbook was really developed for use after the presentation. We found that you retain more information by just listening and absorbing what we discuss here without worrying how you'll implement the concepts. You'll also retain more if you're less concerned about understanding every little detail today. So, we've designed this training to cover the essential basics, and then we'll assign further exercises you can do at home or at the office for you to take action on the information discussed. Secondly, we'll send you digital materials within the next couple of days that will give you free tools and training resources to help you implement everything you learn here today. Okay, go ahead and open your workbook now. The first few pages contain a brief glossary of our terms. Go through the glossary. In order to have a meaningful conversation about internet marketing, we need to make sure we're all on the same page regarding basic terms we'll be discussing throughout the training. So, how many people are familiar with terms like search engine optimization or search marketing, sponsored or paid search, also called pay-per-click or PPC, and social media? Well, if you know about them, great. But if you don't, well, don't worry. Just scan the glossary before we dig into any specific strategy. We'll define them in more depth for you. So, what do we cover in this intensive training? As you know, the goal here is to bring you up to speed on the absolutely essential things your company must do online to compete in today's market. Whether your company is local, national, or global, or whether your industry is small or large, or your audience is made up of consumers or businesses, there are helpful concepts that we're going to learn today. Regardless of what your annual revenue is, you put your company in jeopardy if you do not leverage the internet. I'll show you why in just a second. What I want you to truly think about right now, though, is that the internet is no longer something we just dabble in. It's not a website we just slap up on the fly or spend a couple of $1,000 for a paid search campaign we don't understand or analyze, for that matter. Internet marketing has developed into an art and a science, and we're not going to try to make you an expert. It's not your business to be an internet marketing expert, and to be honest, it's not worth your personal time. However, what you don't know about the internet can devastate your business. Choosing not to participate can quickly become the kiss of death. So, our responsibility is to help you navigate the internet landscape and bring you up to speed on the absolute bare essentials, the biggest bang for your buck marketing tactics and tools that will revolutionize your company's visibility and growth without taking up all your time or your budget. Specifically, we'll begin by reviewing what the global cyber landscape looks like right now, statistics on what's happening on the internet, what your market is doing online, and most importantly, what your competitors are doing that you're going to learn to do better. Then we'll discuss your website. Now, most people have a company website. Okay, we're going to discuss what your website needs to properly brand your business, convert traffic to sales, and build lasting relationships with your audience. Many of us get all pumped up about all the ways to drive traffic to our websites, but, we forget that the foundation of our profit and growth lies in our website's ability to convert that traffic into leads or sales. Your website can be the first line of defense or, frankly, the final nail in your coffin, depending on how you leverage it. We're going to show you quickly and easily how to analyze your website for effectiveness and identify the key elements you'll need. You may also recall that we asked you to submit your website, marketing materials, and such. We'll be conducting several hot seats throughout the day, and we'll workshop at least one element from each of you. Each hot seat session will follow our training in that area. So, for example, when we're done discussing website effectiveness, we'll call up a couple of you who submitted your websites and workshop, your web copy, graphics, and layout. The second portion of our training today will deal with the major marketing strategies you should be pursuing online, including market research, search marketing, social media, conversion analysis, and tracking your site metrics. We'll even reveal to you how we developed the competitive analysis that we did for many of you before you attended the training, and how you can always know exactly what your competitors and industry leaders are doing online, reverse engineer their efforts, and emulate or even exceed their success. I hope you're excited. I know we are. Now, let's get right to the good stuff. So, why the internet? Why is this one area the one you need to champion for your business? Well, the fact you're here means you're already far ahead of the curve because you've got an idea of what you don't know and need to learn. But what's the evidence that justifies your attention to internet marketing? Well, in a nutshell, the evidence shows us that what you don't know about the internet is actually costing you business, and more than just money. Statistics show that businesses that don't participate in various online marketing and advertising methods are sacrificing profits, yes, but they're also sacrificing market share. There's also a massive opportunity cost here. The internet levels the playing field, but if you don't have an online presence, you're foregoing the easiest, most profitable way to leverage against your competition. A small business can grab significant market share from a Fortune 1000 competitor, but only if you know where to spend your time and energy. Now, on the flip side, because the internet industry moves so fast and is so incredibly large, if you bring your business online and you don't know what you're doing, you can actually harm or even ruin your business. That's why we're here. It's easy to tell you that you have to be online and show you why, which we will, but the real value here is in discussing what you don't know. We'll prevent you from wasting a lot of time and money and energy on some of the more common mistakes. Okay, very quickly, I think everyone uses traditional offline marketing in their marketing budget: direct mail, media advertising, radio and television, print, even billboards, yellow pages. How effective is that in the last year, in the last quarter, compared to the performance in previous years? Well, I think we all know the answer to that. The effectiveness is dropping every day. Now, you probably have found it harder lately to reach your audience through those methods. We've seen that trend with a lot of people, a lot of companies. It's because the majority of your audience, well, they've moved online. Now, here's how to reach your audience in 2011. You may be shocked by the recent findings of this Nielsen NetView survey. It was in June 2010, but pay close attention here. 23% of the people surveyed spend time on social networks like Facebook, Twitter, and, of course, the new Google+. Now, this is incredibly important because it's an indication of a major shift in the way people use the internet. We're going to discuss that in much, much more detail shortly. 10% of the folks that use the internet play games. 8% use email. Now, take note, that number is almost 30% lower than it was even 1 year ago. This is another effect, by the way, of the social networks. 4% watch video clips on sites like YouTube.com, and 3% shop on classified or auction sites like Craigslist and eBay. If you sell consumer goods, some of those people could be your customers, or at least they used to be your customers. Now, these figures tell us two things. Number one, the majority of internet users are consuming social media. That's a given. Number two, the easiest, most effective way for your message to reach your audience is what? Through social media. We'll be going into depth about free and low-cost ways to capitalize on video and blogs and podcasting and content distribution later. But what I want us to look at right now is that this is where your audience is, and this is where you need to be in order to reach them. Now, if you're like me, your first question is probably, how many internet users are we talking about? What percentage of my audience would be considered an internet user? Well, the answer is that 30% of the entire world's population is online and using the internet. That's 2 billion people. 78.3% of North Americans are internet users, 60.1% of Australians, and 58.3% of Europeans. And although only 23.8% of Asia's population is currently online, Asia accounts for a whopping 4% of worldwide internet usage. So if the majority of your audience is online and consuming social media, what are traditional businesses, including your competition and industry leaders, doing? Well, it's important for us to determine not only how to reach our market, but who else is competing for their attention and how they're competing. A 2008 global survey by McKinsey & Company found that 61% of companies consider digital advertising vehicles, primarily paid keyword search and social media, to be more effective than traditional advertising, and up to 74% expected to increase their spending in these online areas over the next 3 years. That, by the way, is right now, in case you're keeping score. Additionally, 66% of all offline businesses plan to move the majority of their marketing online by 2011. Right now, these companies have identified the following areas as most likely to receive an increased budget: paid keyword search, branded sponsorship, video advertising, and emerging vehicles, including blogging, social media, virtual worlds, wikis, and widgets, such as Facebook application. Now, anyone got about $10 million to throw away on market research? I didn't think so. So let's just piggyback on the research done by the leading global companies in the world, including several large public companies with average revenues of $30 billion. Now, I think you'd agree they probably have a good finger on the pulse of their market, right? Well, according to their research, up to 83% of customers in a variety of industries are expected to use digital tools and techniques to find new products, conduct research, compare prices, purchase, and continue a relationship with a company after purchasing. Starting to see the overwhelming reality here? Do you see how much you can increase your customer base by reaching out to them online, where they're already spending the bulk of their time, by presenting your message in the media and tools they're already using? Okay, now that we've taken a look at the amazing potential of marketing online, we'll look at one of the most important parts of putting that to work for you, and that's your web presence. We'll look at that next.